Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Quick housekeeping. Check out the affiliate links in our description. Using them supports the show, and please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in. Today, we will be looking at Nvidia confirming a $30 billion investment in OpenAI, Anthropic seeing a major spike in market share following Pentagon-related fallout, Nvidia detailing a packed agenda for GTC 2026, and the ongoing ripple effects of OpenAI's Pentagon deal on the broader competitive landscape. Let us jump right in. At the Morgan Stanley Technology, Media, and Telecom Conference on March 4th, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang confirmed that Nvidia will invest $30 billion in OpenAI. Now, this is notable because for weeks there had been speculation that Nvidia might go as high as $100 billion. Huang put that to rest, explicitly ruling out the larger figure and locking in the $30 billion equity stake instead. The reaction among investors was actually pretty measured. A lot of the conversation centered on capital discipline, with many viewing this as Nvidia committing meaningfully to OpenAI without overextending itself. This makes sense when you consider Nvidia's current position. The company is in the middle of ramping up its Blackwell platform, GPU demand is through the roof, and it is executing on what it calls its AI factory strategy. By investing $30 billion, Nvidia cements itself as OpenAI's primary infrastructure partner while still keeping plenty of dry powder for everything else on its plate. OpenAI, for its part, continues to maintain multi-cloud relationships with Microsoft, Oracle, and others, but Nvidia remains the compute anchor underpinning all of it. Now over on the Anthropic side of things, something pretty dramatic has been playing out. Market tracking data shared in developer communities around March 3rd and 4th shows that Anthropic has gained significant market share in a very short window, essentially within the span of about a week. This surge appears to be directly tied to the turbulence surrounding U.S. federal AI vendor policies, specifically fallout from the Pentagon's evolving procurement landscape. Anthropic had previously been caught up in a supply chain designation controversy involving the Department of Defense, and the uncertainty that created seems to have paradoxically accelerated enterprise and developer migration toward its platform. According to analysis published on LinkedIn on March 4th, Anthropic may now be approaching $20 billion in annualized revenue. That is more than double the roughly $9 billion it was tracking at the end of 2025. One Reddit user noted that, quote, "In just the past week, Anthropic has gained significant market share in a short amount of time," end quote. This growth has not come without growing pains, though. Claude experienced an outage on March 2nd that was reportedly caused by a surge in demand, and developer communities have been actively discussing whether the platform can keep up with the influx of new users. Still, the trajectory is striking, and it underscores how quickly the enterprise landscape can shift when political and policy factors come into play. Moving to some exciting news about an upcoming event. On March 3rd, Nvidia published details about GTC 2026, its flagship technology conference, which will take place March 16th through the 19th in San Jose. The lineup is massive. Participating organizations include OpenAI, Microsoft, Google DeepMind, Meta, Tesla, Siemens, Hugging Face, Cohere, IBM Research, and many more. Jensen Huang will headline with a keynote that is expected to focus on the Blackwell ramp and potentially give us our first real look at the timeline for the next-generation Rubin architecture, which is expected in the second half of 2026. The conference themes are centered on agentic AI, physical AI, robotics, and AI factories. What is really telling about this lineup is who is showing up. You have direct competitors like OpenAI and Google DeepMind, both participating under the Nvidia umbrella, which really reinforces Nvidia's unique position as a kind of neutral compute backbone for the entire ecosystem. Whether you are building foundation models, deploying enterprise solutions, or working on robotics, you are almost certainly doing it on Nvidia hardware. GTC is shaping up to be one of the most important events on the AI calendar this year, and the breadth of industry participation signals just how deeply AI deployment has penetrated beyond chatbots and into sectors like manufacturing, automotive, and defense. And that brings us to the story tying several of these threads together. On March 4th, industry coverage highlighted the ongoing implications of OpenAI's formalized AI agreement with the Pentagon. This deal has been a catalyst for significant reshuffling across the competitive landscape. According to a moderator discussion on the Anthropic subreddit, Anthropic has been given a 6-month phase-out window from Department of Defense engagements, with the expectation that OpenAI will be onboarded as a replacement vendor. As that moderator post noted, quote, Anthropic is required to give 6 months phase out to offboard and onboard another vendor, OpenAI in this case, end quote. This formalized transition is strengthening OpenAI's federal footprint considerably, but it is also triggering a broader conversation across developer and enterprise communities about what it means when competitive positioning extends beyond pure model capability into the realm of policy alignment and government relationships. For companies making procurement decisions, the question is no longer just which model performs best on benchmarks. It is also about which vendor has the political and institutional relationships to ensure continuity and compliance. This dynamic is creating real pressure across frontier labs, and it helps explain why Anthropic's commercial market share is surging even as its federal position faces headwinds. Enterprise customers who may have concerns about the politicization of federal contracts are actively diversifying their vendor relationships, and Anthropic appears to be a primary beneficiary of that shift. Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.